We're just about ready to kick off today's qualifying here in Melbourne. It's the Australian Grand Prix. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction, and over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong, and that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
Excellent lap. We're really pleased.
With qualifying finished, it's time to remind ourselves of our top three: Mir, Verstappen and Devon Butler. Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started. Make sure to join us again for Lights Out tomorrow.
Well done. Very solid result. You're looking good for the race.
If it were me, this is probably what I'd invest in.
They say that even a second is an eternity in Formula One, so going 4 winter months with no racing at all has seemed a very long time indeed. We're back though in Melbourne, home of the Australian Grand Prix since 1996. The Melbourne circuit is certainly one that needs to be taken seriously. Its combination of slippery surfaces and difficult corners make it a tricky track when it comes to overtakes. Drivers find it hard to pass and will need to take full advantage of those DRS zones if they want to have any hope of breaking through. I'm joined today in the commentary box, as I will be throughout this season, by a great racing driver. Former F1 competitor, former world champion, and as he tells me all too often, an all-round top chap. It's the one and only Anthony Davidson. And tell me, here we are, first Grand Prix of the season, first time racing these cars. What are the big questions that need to be answered here, in your view?
Oh, thanks, Crofty. It's a real privilege to be here, and I can't wait to see what's in store for us this season. Now, to answer your question, one of the biggest things is reliability. Formula One cars are full of very sophisticated but also very sensitive technology, and this first Grand Prix of the season is going to push them to the limits. So the most important thing today is to stay out of trouble, get to the end of the race and keep everything in good condition.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Mia lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Butler, Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Russell, Raikkonen, Ricciardo, Sainz and Pierre Gasly, Leclerc, Albon, Lucas Faber and Hulkenberg, Giovinazzi, Vettel, Lance Stroll and Valtteri Bottas. Magnussen and Romain Grosjean sits at the back of the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
First race of the season and you're on pole? Let's bring home a win today. Okay, the incident has been cleared. Let's get back up to racing speed. Okay, entering lap 3 now. DRS has been enabled. Charles currently in P9. The gap is 8.2 seconds. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 31.0. A new strategy is available on the MFD. Copy that. Okay, box, box, box. We're adjusting the strategy. Come in this lap. Let me know you're okay. That looked bad. Are you alright? Let me know you're alright. In the pits. Go now. Pit strategy complete. See these tyres through to the end now. fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. Good job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. Caution, caution. Green flag. For the mediums, car behind on the medium tyre. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. We're leading our teammate by 8.9 seconds. Engine mode much longer. We're about a lap over target. Drop down to mix too soon. Last lap was a 1:37.0. The difference is 15.3 seconds. They're on fresh hards. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Nice move. Good job. Front is 5.2 seconds. laps of fuel left. And bring it home.
What a fantastic Grand Prix that was, and an excellent win for McLaren. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I think that smart tyre management on track and very smooth driving definitely assisted in their victory today. That combination meant they got the absolute maximum out of their tyres at all times.
Our winning drivers are on their way to the podium right now. It's been a fantastic race for McLaren, that's for sure, and no doubt they'll be celebrating tonight. Let's have a quick look at how the drivers' standings have changed. Lewis Hamilton takes the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Now, let's discuss, Ant. Who would you say is a contender for Driver of the Day?
It's got to be Lewis Hamilton. I mean, he pulled off some impressive feats out on the track today, even by his standards.
It's time to check out the Constructors' standings. McLaren supplant the previous leaders, taking control of the championship. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
Here we are then, the calm before the storm, as we wait for this field of iconic cars to burst into life for the historic invitational event today. I'm delighted to have the opportunity to be here and welcome along to all of you at home as well. So grab a cup of tea and get ready as our competitors make their final preparations.
Black flag, we're out of the race.
Congratulations on your success in the invitational events. It might not help you in the championship standings, but it definitely helps to build your reputation.
Bahrain qualifying is nearly upon us and the drivers look as if they're all geared up to go. I expect we'll be getting underway very shortly. Now then, Anthony Davidson, you're not getting any younger, but you have been involved in your fair share of qualifying sessions in an illustrious 30-year career. How do you deal with the pressure when you have that one chance to deliver a perfect lap?
It's not so much about dealing with the pressure, it's more about how you approach the risk and just how much of it are you willing to take. You're constantly balancing the car on the edge of grip from braking, cornering and traction. And over the course of a lap, it's easy to get that balance wrong. And that's why achieving the perfect lap is almost impossible. As you say, I've been doing this 30 years now, and it never gets any easier.
lap. Just wasn't our day.
We're all ready for tomorrow's race, but before we begin, let's have a quick look at those who will be fronting the grid. Butler, Verstappen and Mir. With qualifying wrapped up,
Obviously, I expected a better session, but these things happen from time to time. Try to make up for it in the race.
there's something in the Bahrain air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the sand. Our brightest minds have thrust their brightest ideas into the spotlight of the Sakhir circuit this evening as we look ahead once more to a Grand Prix that has thrilled us so consistently in the past. Formula One returns to the desert today on this exceptional 3.36-mile circuit. 15 corners provide plenty of overtaking opportunities. It could be a strategic race, this one, with Sakhir notorious for eating up the rear tyres. Watch out for drivers managing their rubber at some point during the Grand Prix. Anthony Davidson is here once again for today's Grand Prix. Let's discuss Haas. We have a number of changes to the aerodynamic regulations this year, and the signs haven't looked good for them so far in terms of getting to grips with those changes.
It doesn't look promising for them so far. And if the new regs have hit them as hard as we think, well, I suspect they may need a few late nights at the factory to get back on track.
It's time to see how our drivers are stacking up after yesterday's exciting qualifying session. Devon Butler will lead us away from pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Mir, Russell, Alexander Albon and Sainz, Hamilton, Perez, Leclerc and Pierre Gasly, Raikkonen, Stroll, Daniel Ricciardo and Hulkenberg, Weber, Grosjean, Antonio Giovinazzi and Valtteri Bottas. Magnussen and Sebastian Vettel starts from the back of the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
After the points finish last race, let's aim to keep the momentum going. was the fastest lap of the race. Keep this up. You'll be on the mediums. Check your MFD for a new strategy option. Understood, copy that. Is sat in P8. The difference is 16.7 seconds. They're on fresh softs. We think they've got one more stop. The time last lap was a 1 minute 38.8. Gap to teammate behind is 19.8 seconds. Lap was a 1:40.5. We're leading our teammate by 23.8 seconds. They're on fresh softs. They're in 13th. Box. We're coming in this lap. Pit now. Exit now. Look after these tyres now. We want to finish the race on this compound. Gap to the car ahead is 2.3 seconds. Okay, the gap behind is 6.2 seconds. Pierre is in for his stop. Lewis is sat in P8. The gap is 39.6 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.5. Job. That was the fastest lap of the race so far. We have 5 laps of fuel remaining. Mediums, they're in 14th. The time last lap was a 1:36.4. This is P7 at the moment. The gap is 50.2 seconds. They're on fresh mediums. The time last lap was a 1 minute 36.2. There's 3 laps of fuel remaining. Final lap of the race. That's a race win. You've really been great today.
Well, what a drive that was to take the win for Ferrari today. What do you think it was, Ant, that gave them the edge over the competition today?
I'd say it was down once again to good, consistent driving, nailing the corners, working to the track conditions and perfecting the team's strategies. They got all of these things right today and the results speak for themselves.
And here we are, a team that is no stranger to the podium, taking their place on top once again. A sublime race today and a stunning win for Ferrari. So, let's review the drivers' standings. Mia takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Let's focus on the driver of the day, Anthony Davidson. Who do you pick?
It has to be said, Roman Grosjean certainly had my eye today. He made impressive gains during the race.
Let's move on to the constructors. It was a tough race for our championship leaders who lose ground at the top of the table. Meanwhile, Ferrari have improved their position. A strong weekend from them as they fight their way towards the top. It's been an absolutely wild weekend of Formula One action. I can't wait to see what's next.
Great work out there today. Let's have your thoughts. You performed better than last weekend. What changed? Do you have any comments about the collisions? You're now ahead of your old F2 rival in the championship. Do you think that your close rivalry has helped you out this season? Great. Well, that's everything.
Fantastic podium. Well done. Keep pushing like this for the rest of the season.
Welcome to Shanghai, China, for what I've no doubt is going to be a fantastic F1 qualifying session. Looking at this field today, Anthony, do you think we're going to see anyone take a chance? Maybe run the hard tyres and save some of the grippier tyres for the race tomorrow?
Well, I'd be surprised in all honesty. It's only the front runners that really have the pace to get away with that, and even then, at the end of the day, it's a big risk. Track position is the most important thing, and it's rarely worth sacrificing for a slightly more optimal strategy in the race, so I doubt we're going to see anyone trying it. I have been wrong before though. We certainly do see some risky decisions every now and then, and it's a gamble that's sometimes worth taking. But if it were me in the car, I would want to be on the fastest tyre for my qualifying lap, without a doubt.
That's pretty disappointing, but we can turn it around tomorrow.
And with qualifying complete, let's review our top three today. Russell, Verstappen and Devon Butler. Well, that wraps up qualifying.
Bad luck in qualifying. That's not exactly ideal. But there's no points for Saturday. Keep a cool head and make up for it in the race.
It's time to find out which driver is up to the task of claiming the Chinese Grand Prix. We're here in Shanghai. The ever-tightening turns 1 and 2 will prove tricky in the slippery conditions here at Shanghai, and anyone that slides wide will lose a lot of time getting back on track. Turn 14 should still be the best place for overtaking, but we'll have to see some improvement in the weather before the drivers can take advantage of that DRS assistance. Alongside me to discuss all the action today is Anthony Davidson. Thanks for joining us, Ant. And tell me, you were down in the pit lane earlier. How do you think the track conditions are today?
Well, the surface looks clean enough, but I'm a little bit worried about the track temperature. It's pretty cool out there, which could give some teams difficulties when it comes to keeping their tyres in the right operating window. The cars out there that work their tyres hard and really put a lot of energy through them, they'll be the ones that are better off.
It's time to take a look at our starting grid for today's race. George Russell did very well in qualifying yesterday and will start today's race from pole position, and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Butler, Hamilton, Sergio Perez and Albon, Vettel, Bottas, Mir and Lance Stroll, Sainz, Ricciardo, Pierre Gasly and Faber, Raikkonen, Leclerc, Antonio Giovinazzi and Nico Hulkenberg. Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen fills the last spot on the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
You have a great chance of taking home the win today. Let's make this work for us. Illegal maneuver, cede that position or receive a penalty. That's a decent start. Good job. An issue with their car, they're going to be slow. Lewis is currently in P5. The difference is 1.8 seconds. They're on fresh inters. The time last lap was a 1:59.7. us for a while. Light rain conditions for the foreseeable future. Not sure whether dries or inters are faster. We're right on the crossover. Nice move. To teammate behind is 14.7 seconds. We'll be seeing at least 20 minutes of light rain. increasing the gap to the car behind by a few seconds per lap. Keep this up. Fuel target is +1. Faster engine modes are available. Okay, this is Jeff. I need you to stop cutting the corners. If you keep it up, the stewards will award you a penalty. burned off our excess fuel. We'll be back on target soon. Don't wait too long to turn the engine down. Our gap behind is 6.9 seconds. Okay, we're not seeing any issues with tyre wear right now. You should have good grip for a while yet. There's 5 laps of fuel remaining. Yellow flag. Be aware, there's an incident in the next part of the track. No overtaking through the yellow flags. Behind is gaining on you by 0.5 a lap. Left of this rain, then we think it's going to dry up. 10 minutes. There's 4 laps of fuel remaining. laps of fuel remaining. Leading our teammate by 36.1 seconds. Is out of the race. This is your final lap of the race. Less than a lap of fuel now. The tank is empty. The gap to the car behind is 7.9 seconds. Good job, you did really well. Super driving.
It was a magnificent race and a drive right out of the top draw to take the win for Red Bull today. Tell me, Ant, how did they manage to achieve this win?
Well, this was a real team victory. They put together a solid strategy today that appeared well suited to the conditions out on track. The driver did everything that was expected of them in the moment to really execute the team's plan to perfection. A shining example of how F1 really is a team sport.
Red Bull are our winners today after showcasing some incredible driving. There's been a huge push from them lately to stay competitive with the other teams, and they're certainly proving themselves. So let's review the updated driver standings. Mia increases their championship lead. Some amazing talents out on the track today. But Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
I have to give it to Mia. They demonstrated a very delicate touch in close proximity to other cars, as well as showing a lot of maturity and patience in difficult situations.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Red Bull take over as championship leaders. Meanwhile, Renault move up the table with another strong performance this weekend. After an event like that, who knows what the sport has in store for us next time? Be sure to join us again as we continue to bring you the latest excitement in Formula One.
Good day today. Let's have your take on it. You gained a lot of positions during the race, didn't you? That was a pretty close finish with your old F2 rival. You and your old F2 rival didn't hold back with the champagne up on the podium today. Did you feel comfortable in the wet weather today? Great. Well, that's everything.
Commiserations on that result. It's been a tough weekend. Looks like one of your rivals is also going to an upcoming historical event. If you choose to take him on, it might help get your name out there a bit.
Let's have a look then at the drivers' standings. George Russell takes the lead in the Drivers' Championship after today's superb result. After an incredible day of racing, who was your driver of the day, Ant?
But there's no question in my mind, it has to go to George Russell. What a performance. He's got every right to be proud of what he accomplished out there today.
It's time to check out the constructors' standings. Mercedes moved to the top of the table. Another team that will be satisfied with this Grand Prix is Alfa Romeo, whose good result moves them further up the championship. Well, Ant, an end to another fantastic weekend of racing. Thanks to everyone who's joined us, and we'll see you for the next one.
What on earth was that performance? Come on, this isn't bumper cars at the fairground. Your results and conduct here matter, so pay more attention. We can't afford too many races like that. All right, the terms have been agreed. All that's left is to sign the paperwork. You'll be on this new deal from the next race weekend.